So as promised, guys, we're going to be doing a Google stock update in this video, a more in-depth one, because they just reported their numbers yesterday, and newsflash, guys, their stock is up around 7% right now, 6-7%. So we're going to dive into the earnings a little bit more in depth, break down what I'm looking to do. Am I buying more Google? Am I selling all my stock, which this is my biggest individual stock holding, or am I holding, guys? We're going to break down a lot, and of course, we'll go over the charts. But before we do that, don't forget to get your free money from Moomoo, the sponsor of today's video. Up to 16 stocks, each up to $2,000. Just use that link down below, or go to stocksurfest.com/Moomoo and simply open up your account and fund it with at least $100. You get 5 stocks right off the bat, and if you fund it with at least $1,000, you get 10 more stocks, totaling 15 stocks. And listen to this, guys, fund your account with at least $5,000. On top of those 15 stocks, you also get a free share of either Tesla stock or Expedia stock, and the clock is ticking, guys. So use that link down below. And of course, full disclosure, that is an affiliate link. It helps out the channel. I appreciate you all as always. And with that being said, cheers. Let's dive right into the video. So right now it's about, what time is it? About 10 a.m. when I'm filming this video, and the market's pretty much just open, and we are red all across the board except for the Russell. You guys can see the Russell's up over 0.5%, but we do have the NASDAQ down about 0.3, the S&P's down 0.2, and we have the Dow down a little bit, pretty much at break even, down 20 points, down 0.05%. So we're going to break down, obviously, Alphabet or Google in this video. We're not going to focus too much on the overall markets, but that's a quick glance at what's going on right now. 30 minutes, 40 minutes in, we're down across the board except for the Russell. So let me actually pull up Google stock for you guys, also known as, well, I guess it is known as Alphabet. Technically, that is the name of the company, Alphabet Inc. You guys can see they're up 6.4% right now, up over $7 per share. And this stock just yesterday, guys, was in the low 120s. Now it's in the low 130s, pretty much up $10 off the lows from yesterday. So looking quickly at the live news tab to get a quick glance at the numbers before we dive into the actual earnings release, the different segments. Looks like here the headline number for EPS was $1.44. Revenue came in at $74.6 billion. And of course, a lot of that, most of that came from advertising revenue. $58.14 billion is from advertising. Traffic acquisition costs were about $12.5 billion. And their operating margin is 29% right now, with Google Cloud revenue being $8 billion. And we'll talk more about that here in a second. Actually, let me just do that right now. What am I even waiting for, guys? Let me pull up Safari very quickly so we can break down here. Oops, let me not do that. Sorry about that, guys. So we can break down the actual earnings release from the company, which came out yesterday. And of course, you guys can see all this for yourselves. Just go on Google and type in Alphabet Investor Relations or Google Investor Relations, and this will pop up, and you'll be able to read through it for yourselves. And mind you, we're not going to go through all 15 or 10 pages of this report, but we'll go over some of the key highlights that are worth mentioning. So let's do that right now. If we zoom in a little bit, we can see right here, guys, revenue came in, excuse me, guys, it came in at $74.6 billion. Let me zoom in to make sure you guys can see that. You can see that, right? $74.6 billion. And last year in the same period, they did just under $70 billion, $69.7 billion of revenue, and year over year that grew about 7%. Not bad. And it looks like here from 2021 to 2022 they grew 13%. So revenue growth did slow down a little bit, which is that surprising? Not really, considering how aggressively these companies grew in 2020 to 2021. So it's slowing down a little bit, but still up 7%. That is really good for the size, for a company the size of Google. Operating income also jumped. Look at that. And it also increased percentage-wise. You guys can see operating income last year, same period, was $19.4 billion. Now it's almost at $22 billion. It was at 28%, the operating margin last year, and now it's at 29%, like I mentioned about 2 minutes ago. And net income also increased from around $16 billion, that was in 2022, to now $18.3 billion. You guys can see that. That's a pretty nice increase. And diluted EPS went from $1.21 last year to $1.44 this year. Not too bad, guys. Now, these are the segments that I want to focus on very quickly for this portion of the video. You guys can see, excuse me again, geez guys, I have to drink more water. I just woke up. Well, it's 10:15. I didn't just wake up, but I didn't drink any water today really, so my throat is dry as heck. Probably should drink some of the water here, guys. But either way, Google search and other came in at 42. That came in at what, 42 billion, and that along with YouTube ads and Google network came in at 58 billion, which I believe is the number that I mentioned earlier in this video. You guys probably caught that, right? So let me show you this. We are declining in Google network revenue. It came in at 8.2 billion last year. Now it just came in at 7.8. So that is declining year over year for sure. But YouTube ads is starting to pick up again. Look at this, guys. Last year, YouTube ads were at $7.3 billion. Now they're pushing to 7.7 billion, more like 7.6 to be exact. But it is an increase, and I know I'm only one creator here on YouTube, this channel alone, but just from my perspective, right, my YouTube ad revenue, solely the ad revenue or the revenue that I get from ads, that has increased for myself as well from last year. That's just me. I'm just one creator, and it's different for everybody out there, obviously. But, you know, for my channel, it's increased, and overall for Google, you know, it is increasing as well. Looks like here, just from ads. These are the mid-roll ads. These are the, you know, pre-roll ads, whatever you want to call them. That's what we're talking about here. Just from that, you know, my channel's increased year over year, and it looks like Google as well, which is really good, from 7.3 to 7.6 billion. And we can see here Google advertising, we covered that last year, was 56 billion, 58 billion for this year. That's great. And Google services total was at 66 billion. Last year it was 62.8, so that's a big jump there. And Google Cloud saw a nice jump from 6.2 billion to 8 billion. That's a pretty nice jump there for Google Cloud. And other bets, 193 million to 285 million. That's really peanuts now for Google. That is really nothing. And again, total revenues grew pretty nicely, 7% year over year. And when it comes to the operating results in these different segments, we can see this is operating income or loss for Google services. They lost 590 million last year. Now it's at, you know, an increase of 395. They're in the green. That's good. Other bets, they lost 1.3 bill last year. Now they're losing 800 mil. So that's, you know, narrowed. That's good. It looks like corporate costs unallocated, which this is an addition to the alphabet level costs, included an unallocated corporate costs, yada, yada, yada. We're not going to get into that, but that actually increased. The losses are widening there year over year. So if you guys want to look more into this, again, just go to Google Investor Relations. Let me actually look at their balance sheet very quickly to see what that's looking like. And of course, they have a very strong balance sheet, guys. We all know that at this point. Their total cash equivalents, and marketable securities is sitting at 113 billion freaking dollars, guys. That is insane, with cash and cash equivalents being at 22 billion pretty much. And their current liabilities are sitting at around, you know, 69 billion dollars, so they could easily pay off, you know, their, let's see, the current assets. Current assets are sitting at $165 billion, over 70 billion. I mean, that current ratio is amazing. That's over a 1, or it's pretty much a 2, right? Yeah, over a 2 current ratio. Very, very strong there. Their balance sheet is phenomenal. And, you know, it's expected for a company like Google, guys. Are you surprised? I'm not surprised. And we can look at, you know, their, you know, statements of income. You guys can see here over the past couple of quarters, the past couple of years, the different numbers, which again, I don't want to go too deep into in this video because I feel like it would be too long and it would get boring. But for a quick YouTube video, guys, I feel like we covered a lot in this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. And let me actually come back over here to the stock very quickly. Bear with me, guys, so we can see what it's up to as I am about to wrap up this video. So Google is now up over 6.5%. So it has creeped up a little bit more since I started this video. Now it's at about $130.80 per share. Not bad. And it kind of looks like we are riding off the 180 SMA on the 5-day 5-minute. And maybe we're setting up for something like that. Maybe for a push towards that 132.70 high from the aftermarket yesterday. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Hit that that like button, and make sure to subscribe. We're almost at 30,000 subs, guys, and it's completely free to subscribe. And you might as well get your free money from Moomoo, up to 16 stocks, each up to $2,000. Just use that link down below, or go to stocksurfest.com/Moomoo, open up your account and fund it with at least $100. You get 5 stocks right off the bat, and fund it with at least $1,000. You get 10 more stocks, totaling 15 stocks. And listen to this, guys, fund your account with at least $5,000. On top of those 15 stocks, you also get a free share of either Tesla stock or Expedia stock, which makes this promo a no-brainer. So use that link down below. And of course, full disclosure, that is an affiliate link. It helps out the channel. I appreciate you all as always. And with that being said, cheers. I'll see you in the next video.